Okay, this is ITS128, and today is November 28th, and we are about 3 days before the end of the semester. And so today I'd like to cover a little bit about a problem that I think you'll probably see on the final assignment. We aren't having a final exam. We're just having a last assignment, and the last assignment is going to be like a little bit bigger, just like the midterm was a little bit bigger. And I'll give it to you in plenty of time. I'm hope to have it done by tomorrow. But I'd like to show you another example of how we can take a program that we've already written and take some of the guts out of it and create a separate class to do those functions. And the idea is that the folks that work on the interface don't necessarily have to understand the logic or even too much of anything. Some other group writes the classes that do the heavy labor, and the interface folks just interface to the class by the members of the class, the properties and the methods. So I'm going to start with problem assignment. I think it was assignment 11. If we go back to assignment 11, it was this one, I believe. Yes. It's so in this assignment we had a lot of different functions having to do with storing things in the array and writing out to files and so on. And for example, the array that when we started, we just had a single dimension array, and then we switched to a two-dimensional array, and we're storing right now in a text file, and later on you may want to upgrade and store into a database. And so this is a good example of where if you separate the work into classes, then a single class is responsible for one thing, and it's easy to switch back and forth, or easier. So I've opened up my most recent problem 11, and we can just take a look at it and see it run. And as you can see, we can load up a file, and let me find it. For example, we can load this one up, and it's got a few names in there and so on. And there's two different list boxes here, because I think the first one was with the single dimension array, and this one is the two-dimensional array, where we separated the first name and the last name, and that way we could alphabetize. You notice in this array the names are in alphabetical order. So what I'd like to do is to create a separate class that covers the array storage and the file storage. I'm going to start with the array storage. There's here we in the form class we actually we declare the array and so on, and we actually insert into the array, and you notice we had two different versions as we were experimenting with the two different types of arrays and so on. So let's move the array the array storage along with the access of the array into a separate class, and then to use that class we create an instance of it, create a new object using new, and then we're able to use it that way. So to start a new class, I just click over here on the main file here, and the program, and go to add new item, and I'm going to add a class, and I think I'm going to name it storage.cs. Okay, here it is, and I want to check to make sure my namespace is the same as my namespace here, and it is. Okay, good. And so let's make this a public class, and let's declare our array inside here. So I'm just going to go back here, and I'm going to grab, let's see, I'm going to grab the array here. No, I think I'm going to do the two-dimensional. So I'm going to copy this, copy, and go back to here, and I will paste it in here. And I'm going to skip the first one. I'm going to leave off the first one. So the storage that we're going to use is going to be this two-dimensional array. And then I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to declare, I need to declare I need to specify the constructor, which is simply public, the name of the class with left right parentheses and then left right curly braces. And then I'm gonna let's see, I think now I can start declaring some, let's see, kind of declare these in backwards order. Let's see, we're going to want to access this first free index. The value of this is actually the size of the array. It's the number of elements in the array, because this is the first free index, and since we start counting by 0, the filled array slots are 0 to first free index 2D minus 1, and then so first free index 2D is the first place for the for a new element. So to do that, we're gonna create a accessor, and so I'm gonna say public. It'll be public, and it's an integer that I'll be returning, and I'm gonna name it array size. And then I do this, and I'm only going to allow get. It's going to be read only, so I'll say get, and then when you get, we will return. Let's see, first free index 2. Okay, so that simply returns that value, and if we were going to allow it to be set, we would add a set accessor in here, but we don't need that. Okay, let's see. Now, two things that we can start off with is the ability to insert a name into the array and the ability to delete a name from the array. So those would be methods. And so let's start with the method to insert a name into the array, and that will be a public method. And I'm going to return true or false, success or failure. So it's going to be a Boolean function, a Boolean method, and I'm going to call it add name, and it's going to take in as a parameter the name that we want to add. So I'll call it new name. And so next I'm just going to copy the same code that we used to insert a new name here, which was in this form.cs, the event handler for adding a new name, which let's see, it's the second. I'm using the two-dimensional array, so I guess I'll copy this. First we see if there's a duplicate, and then if there's not a duplicate, we insert the name by using this insert name method here. So let me copy, and then so let me copy this, put it over here, right here, and let's see, we're not going to, there's no message bar, you can't display anything out from inside a class. So right here is where we're going to insert a new name, and I think we can probably just copy this code. Where is it? Here. This code, this is it. Copy this code. We don't need to have a separate method, I don't think. We'll just copy this into the add name method, and it'll be right here. and we don't need that other stuff. So let me just paste this in, and let's see, what do? We take the new name, which is this, and we split it. I've got to fix these squigglies. This is a bool, and this is a int. Okay, so we split the two names into names 0, names 1, and we set names 0, names 1, and then we set first this index. This is going to be I guess I can leave that the way it is. So I'm gonna reuse index, and this is gonna loop until it. This shifts all of the names that come after this name alphabetically down, and then it makes the first letter and the first letter of the first and last name be capitalized. That's what this does here. And then this inserts it into the array. This increments first free index, which is the array size, and that's it. Oh, it's gonna return. Does it return anything? I guess it doesn't even have to return anything, does it? Let's see. Oh, I know. Okay. If duplicate equals false, then it returns true. And if duplicate is equal to true, if there is a duplicate, then we don't return. We return false because we were not able to insert a name. Okay, that takes care of the add name. Now, let's we might as well throw in a delete name while we're at it. Let's put in delete name. I'm gonna call it public bool. If we try to delete a name and the name's not in there, then we can return a false. Delete name, and it's going to be a name, and let's start out bool found equals false. We're going to do the same thing as we're doing up here. Let's just copy this for now. Copy this for now. Copy. And get rid of this. This looks to see if it's in there, and we want it to be in there. So if I'm going to change this to found. Doesn't make sense to have it be duplicate. Found. Found equals false. Found equals false. This is not new name. This is delete name. Found equals true. If found is false, then we're going to return an error. Okay, so found is true. Then we're going to delete the name. And to delete the name, we're just going to need a for loop here. We're not going to have to do anything. In fact, we have the index. We have the index of where we want to delete the person. Let's change this to delete index. Delete index. And this is going to loop until it finds it, and I gotta change this too. Let me make this a this is else delete index, because if we find it, I don't want to decrement delete index, because I want to leave the index where it is, because that's the index we want to delete. So here, so now we can reuse, and we're going to shift everything up. So I'm gonna I just need a for loop here. Let me just let's see, if found equals true for int index from delete index up to the top, index plus plus. While it's doing that, we are gonna set we are shifting everything up. We are erasing the first one, we're overwriting the first one, and then we're so basically we keep shifting everything up. And we don't put that in there, it's taken care of by the for loop. So this goes from where we want to overwrite up to the top, and then once we get to the top, we're at the top, and we're just going to simply decrement first free index, and then return true. Otherwise we're going to return false because we did not find it. Okay, so this takes care of adding and deleting, and I really should be debugging these along the way, but I've actually prepared for this. So the last thing I want to do is I want to be able to ask this class, ask the object for a list of friends, for a string array of my friends from the array, for a string array of my friends that I can use to load directly into the list box, and you know, the list box is just a single string value, so per position or per index or per element. So let's create a nice method to do that, and I'm gonna, this doesn't need to be very long. Let's see, it's I can put it down here. It's going to return a string, so it's going to be public string. It's going to return an array, and I'm going to name the method friends list. Doesn't need to take anything in, and so I have to declare my return variable, so it's going to be a string array. I'm going to call it list names, and that's going to equal a new string of size. Did I declare size here? Yes, I did. And then I just need to fill this up for int index equals 0, index is less than first free index 2D index plus plus, list names index equals, and here I have to concatenate the names back together, the first and last names back together, array friend 2D index 0, because that's the first name, plus a space, plus array friends 2D index comma 1, which is the last name. Let me move this over. Okay, that, and then I just need to return this. Okay, so that's my method. That's my class, and so my class does a few things, and we'll add to it. But this starts you out, and it declares private storage of this array of the array that it uses to store, and it provides you a way to add a method to add a name to the array. This adds it right in there, adds it in alphabetically. Provides a way for you to delete a name from the array, and it provides a way for you to get out the list, so you can use it to populate the list box. So let's try to hook this up. Let's see, what am I going to do? I think I'm going to pull the same trick I did before and just put a new list box here. List box, and I'm going to name it LST list friends 3. Why not? And then I'm just gonna put a button here that says name will be btn add name, and I might as well have it say add name, and I'm gonna put a place to, where's a text box, and I'm going to name this text box txt add name. Why not? And that's fine. So that'll be the name, and I want to see it put in here. So I'm going to hook this up so whenever I click on this, it throws the name in there and repopulates the list box. So let's double click on this, and let's see. So first of all, I need to create an instance of my storage. So I'm going to say storage my array equals new storage, like that. Okay, and then I want to let's see, I want to add the name, so I can just go my array dot add name parentheses txt add name dot text. That adds the name, all right. And then let me get out the names. String array list of names equals my array dot friends list, and then I can say int array size equals my array dot array size. That's just a property, so I don't need to put the parentheses. And I can only get it, I can't write it. And then I'm going to do list. What's the list? List 3 dot items dot clear it out. And then I'm going to do for int index equals 0, index is less than array size, comma index plus plus. I just do this. Does that fix it? Yes, it does. List friends 3 dot items add parentheses list of names list of names bracket index. Okay, so that just adds them, that just populates them, and then is that all we have to do? I think so. Let's try it. Let's see. Joe Schmo. Add name. Oh, okay. Andrew Adams. Should put it above it. Oh, darn it. You know my error here. Stop this. I have to go. I don't know why I did that. The reason I did that is because I'm declaring, so each time I click on the button, I'm declaring a new storage object. This should not be inside the add button name handler, but it should be outside. I think I can probably put it right here. I think I can put it there. I don't see why not. So let me try it now. So I'm gonna go Joe Schmo, add name, Fred Chun. Yeah, there we go. Zelda Zanzibar. Megan Miller. Okay. Well, anyway, so I think that's enough for today. It's 6:52, and so I will tomorrow. I should have the actual final assignment ready for you, and I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.